Hello everyone and welcome back to Eurovision Ireland Reviews. It's Destination Paris Show 2. Let's introduce everybody. We've got James.
Hey everyone.
We've got Bogdan.
Hi everyone.
We've got John Staggy.
Hi folks.
We've got Sarah.
Hi everyone.
And my good self Richard. So today we're reviewing the entries that are going to Junior Eurovision this year from Serbia, Albania and France, and they're from national official music videos because they didn't hold the national final, and also Russia, and that review is based on a national final performance. So starting off today is Serbia. Their best position to date is third in 2010, which is Rotterdam and Minsk respectively. And to talk through that is James.
Right, so I get to talk about Children's Eyes by Jovana and Dunja. Now, one thing I really wanted to say about this is I loved the music video. It was filmed in Novi Sad in northern Serbia, and I spent a summer there as a student many years ago now, and it just instantly brought back happy memories of, you know, looking out over the river and sort of being at the point they were, looking over the town and everything. So I was like, oh, I remember where that is, you know, so that instantly made me smile. The song itself, it has a really lovely message, and it's the kind of thing that I think suits JESC well. It's talking about seeing the world through the eyes of a child and sort of all the hopes and fears that encompasses, but how it's a sort of positive thing and something we can all learn from, which I really like. I think that's a good message for a JESC song to have. My tiny issue with it is that it's a little bit slow. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but just on the first listen, I remember thinking, oh, you know, it doesn't really kick in for me at any point. One thing I will say though is that the beginning of the song feels very much like an ASMR video, you know, where you sort of got the sounds coming from different things. It sort of feels like a spoken word performance, and I think if they can sort of mimic that well on stage, bless you, John. If they can mimic that on stage, that could be a really special moment because it will sort of draw people in, and I think that could work really well. The chorus I think is great. It's got that sort of bop along feel to it. You sort of hear it and it makes you want to move along, and the verses are sort of very slow by comparison. Yeah, it was interesting to hear a bit of DJ scratching in there because I was just always putting in mind what Petra Merda said. You know, it's the way to make it. Oh, bless you, John.
Sorry.
Well, in Serbia, when someone sneezes when you talk, they say istina. It's true, so clearly I'm saying what's true. So yeah, DJ scratching, it just makes you think of what Petra Merda said, that, you know, it makes it sound very modern considering it's sort of a sound that's nearly 40 years old now. So it's interesting to have that. Now, I think staging is really going to be key for Serbia. I think if they stage this well, this could be quite a special moment for Junior Eurovision this year.
Right. Next up is Albania. Their best position to date is 5th back in 2015 when the contest took place in Sofia. Bogdan, it's over to you.
Right, so from Albania we have Stand By You, and I hope I'm going to do justice with the name because I don't know any Albania, so it's Ana Jebrea. I think it's how it's pronounced. If not, I'm so sorry. So about the song, from the moment it starts, it's really powerful. It feels like an anthem. It's very rhythmic. It's getting your head instantly. And it has the advantage of combining two powerful things. The first, it has a good message, say no to bullying. And secondly, it has a really positive energy attached to it. So Albania could be up to something. Now, in the music video, we can't really hear very clear Anna's song, only a few moments. But all combined together, it sounds good. So if they can pull it off the stage, so it sounds really good on the stage with a good choreography and a good show, I honestly think that Albania can be a serious contender for the podium this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the song is in my head. I won't try to sing it, so don't worry. Something. Okay, so that's a good part. That's a good thing. Yeah, Albania, well done. Let's hope you can put up a good show.
Third up today is Russia. They've won the contest twice, 2006 and 2017, in both Bucharest and Tbilisi. So it's over to John and Staggy, and it's somebody that we've met before.
Indeed it is. This is Tanya Mejadtsieva. I hope I got her name spot on there. And the song's called Mon Ami, so she's already sort of going for the French vibe there. So I was perhaps just a tad disappointed that the only bit about French about this song is the title. The rest of it's in Russian and English. And it works well in Russian and English. You know, you sometimes get this thing where it's written in one language and it's translated in a very clunky way into the other, but this flows. It's nice. It's nice. A nice mix of the two languages. As you said, Richard, it's a national final performance. She's done this before, so she's a veteran. At her age, she's a veteran of JESC. And I was actually quite impressed with what I saw from the national final performance. She starts off on a zebra. Now, I was hoping that it was real, but sadly not, because the rules don't allow live animals on stage. So she starts off on a zebra, gets off the zebra, joined by 4 pals, and there's a lot of dancing. It's very slick, smooth. Smooth is the word I've got written down. It's very smooth choreography, so they know what they're doing. It's there. It's to quote someone else, it's oven ready to go to the contest and maybe do something. It may not be the best song because we've still got plenty to hear, but she's a cracking. She sells it so well, and it is a bit on the catchy side as well. So I'm actually very pleasantly taken with this Russian song. I'd like to think it could do something, and Staggy does too, since he's met her.
And Staggy's opinion always counts. Now, finally, today we're crossing over to France, and they took victory for the first time last year when the show, how can I say, was coordinated from Warsaw, when all the performances were pre-recorded. So it's over to Sarah to talk to us about this year's French entry.
Well, vive la France. Right, okay, so for France this year, we've got Enzo singing Tic Tac. It's very sort of nice, easy song title to remember there. Always good thing for Eurovision. Now, I have to say that I've got mixed opinions about this one, and some of it's good and some of it, you know, maybe a few doubts. When I first started to watch the video, the first part sort of really caught me because it felt like a little bit of a sort of a 1920s jive site introduction. And then as you start going into the song, you kind of think, where have I heard this before? And then, of course, it dawns on you just a year ago, we have the song J'imagine, which Valentina brought victory for France with. And I found myself bopping along and thinking it's like bopping along to a very similar tune. And I personally think that this could be the song's downfall, is that it's sounding a little bit too familiar and too similar to last year's entry. Having said that, Enzo is a very enthusiastic performer, and there with his backing dancers and putting in a very, very enthusiastic performance. If he can replicate that video performance onto the stage in the way that Valentina did last year, then the French may be onto something. Could they get a back-to-back win? Who knows? Poland did it 2 years ago. So I think so. It could go either way. For me, it could be that voters will either think this sounds too familiar, it's too much like last year, or you might get the people that actually, you know, they like a very lively performance, they like an up-tempo number, so that it will get those kind of votes. I would like to see them do well. Win, not so sure about, but I'd like to see them reach the top 5, mainly because they're our nearest and dearest neighbours. And also they're the host country, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on Enzo to at least sort of come do it, perhaps even if he doesn't reach Valentina's dizzy heights, that to at least come somewhere sort of within the top 10. So a lot of pressure on him, bless his heart, and I'm sure he will do France proud.
Well, that's all for today's show. Let us know whether you agree or disagree with us in the comments below. We'll be back with show 3 of Destination Paris very soon. But from all of us here, it's goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye.